Hey everybody, Dockside Gamer here and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to be doing a basic starting point for Bloodborne. It's not a game that I know extremely well as I've only beaten it a couple times, but I will be showing you how to create a character and the different stats. I'll be showing you how to get to Hunter's Dream, the hub. I'll show you how to awaken the doll to level up as well. I will show you leveling up and the different stats that go with that. I'll show you how to summon an old hunter if you're having problems with the cleric beast, and then I'll finally do the cleric beast fight at the end of it. Now, if you guys are really enjoying this, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and it lets me know what I'm doing is actually working. Okay, let's get into it. Now, when you create your character, it's a little bit different than from Dark Souls. So the main difference is that there's no classes. It's just birth origins, I guess, or just like your backstory. Now, depending on which one you choose, your level will still be the same. They'll all start at level 10, except the Waste of Skin, he starts at level 4, and everything else just kind of has its own different stat layout. It doesn't really matter which one you pick. If you want, like, they have like the generic strength, skill, arcane, all that stuff. And since I'm talking about it, this game is very heavily relying on riposts, and it uses different stats as in arcane, blood tinge, and skill. So those are for your tools, your hunter tools. Now when I say hunter tools, they are acting kind of like spells, and there's guns in this that you can use to riposte since there's no shields. Now, when you start in this game, you awaken on the table, and you start going through. As you notice, I don't have any weapons, I don't have any healing items, I don't have any bullets, I have nothing. So you just walk through the starting area, and you just kind of start exploring. Now, the game kind of expects you to die here, because they would probably suspect that the player would attempt to fight this wolf. You can kill him. I have done it in the past. I did not do it here because I just wasn't really paying much attention to it. But as soon as you die, you get to Hunter's Dream. Now, you can't do anything here in Hunter's Dream, unfortunately. The only thing you can do on this trip is grab your starting items. So as you see, the doll doesn't awaken, so you can't level up, can't do anything. She's your firekeeper in this game. So when you start here, you get choice of 3 weapons. You get the cleaver, axe, or threaded cane. In my opinion, the axe is the better weapon, so I choose the axe. And then you go up and choose between 2 guns. You get a pistol or a blunderbuss. I choose the pistol. And then you get a notebook for leaving messages. But that's all you can do your first trip to Hunter's Dream. There's literally nothing else you do. So you can equip your weapons, and you use gravestones there on the left to travel to the different areas. So as you can see, I go back, the door is locked. There's nothing else I can do. So I take the headstone and I go right back to where I was. So a main difference with Bloodborne is when you two-hand a weapon in this, you're actually transforming a trick weapon. So what that is, every weapon's a trick weapon. It just changes its state. So as you've seen when I two-handed my axe, it got longer and I could do a spin move. You'll see it later in the run, but every weapon has this transforming state. Now with healing items, you have blood vials. Blood vials are very limited. You can grind for them, and they only heal you a small amount. Think life gems, but they give you just a chunk of your health back, not like a slow burn like it does in Dark Souls 2. And there's no Estus Flask. Another difference in this is the Quicksilver bullets. These are for your gun, obviously, to fire, and when you start getting hunter tools, you use the bullets to actually use I'm going to call them spells, because that's basically what they are. They're the magic in this game. So moving on in the area, you'll find the lever to drop this ladder here, and it will lead to your first lantern. Now, the lanterns are your bonfires in this. The only difference is you can't rest at them. The only thing you can do at lanterns is go back and forth between Hunter's Dream. They are fast travel points, but you can't go to the lantern to fast travel to another lantern. That's probably one of the bigger gripes I have about this game, is that the only way that you can reset the area if you're grinding is to run back to a lantern, go back to Hunter's Dream, and then teleport back. That's the only way. And that, unfortunately, they probably could have did something else with it. They could have made it act like a bonfire where you can just rest, reload the area, and then keep going. But unfortunately, they didn't. They just let you transport back and forth. Now I'll touch on Bloodstone Shards. So I just picked up one. These are your Titanite Shards in the game. You use them to upgrade your weapons so you can do a little bit more damage, but it just works the same way as Titanite Shards. Now I'll also touch on Cold Blood Dew, because everything's named differently here. The Cold Blood Dew is like your soul items in Dark Souls. So they give you what's called Blood Echoes in this game, basically souls. Let's just call it what it is. It's souls. And you use that to level up. So when you start getting more of those, you can use them and you'll get more Blood Echoes. So just keep that in mind when you're running through the area. Now when you're going through, you'll see this great bridge that I was just on. If you go down this staircase, and you see this area right here on my left, you want to drop down. For those who have played this game, you know what's down this way. For those who haven't, there is a set of clothing, or armor, I guess. It provides some defenses and some resistances, but it's not like a make or break kind of thing like it is in Dark Souls. But you can still pick it up. It'll provide some defense. And eventually you'll find a Madman's Knowledge. Now the Madman's Knowledge, it will give you 1 insight. Insight in this game is used for summoning other people, summoning old hunters, and there's a special shop in the Hunter's Dream that only uses insight. And especially at this point in the game, gaining 1 insight will unlock the Hunter's Dream for you to be able to level up and to upgrade your weapons and stuff like that. So going to get this Madman's Knowledge early is definitely a good thing, because then you can start upgrading your weapons, you can start leveling up your character, and then you won't have as hard of a time in the early game as maybe someone who's just starting, doesn't realize what they can do at this point, and might die fairly often. So I'll show you where the Madman's Knowledge is, and then I'll show you leveling up. So I'll be back in a second. So this is the armor set that I was talking about. As you can see, it does provide some defense and resistances, especially more than what you were originally wearing. And most of the time, this is what I wear for probably 90% of my playthroughs of this game anyways. But I'll get to where the Madman's Knowledge is. So when you go up this ladder here, when you drop down from getting the armor, there's a secondary ladder that you can climb up. It's just down the path, not that one that I just passed. It's this one here. That will lead you into a like a big hallway, or like a big area. And you want to drop down all the way to the water and go all the way to the back. So I'll show you here in a second. You'll see, you can kind of look down to make sure it's safe. And then I drop down. So you see that item way at the back? That's a Madman's Knowledge. That will give you 1 insight and will unlock the Hunter's Dream for leveling up. So I would recommend running back to a lantern and leveling up. And you might have picked up some Bloodstone Shards, so you can upgrade your weapon as well while you're here. Now when you come back this time, you'll see the dolls standing up. You'll see the doors to the building are actually open. That means that you've unlocked everything. Now leveling up is a little bit different in this than it is in Dark Souls. There's Vitality, which doesn't govern your equip load, because equip load doesn't exist in this game. Vitality is just your health. And then you have Endurance, which is for stamina. And you have Strength and Skill, which is your strength and dexterity, respectively. And then you have your Blood Tinge and Arcane. So Blood Tinge generally will work with a lot of your ranged weapons and some of your hunter's tools. And Arcane will also go with a lot of hunter tools and some weapons as well. They're just different stats. Think of those as like your intelligence and your faith, kinda. Just think of it that way when you're leveling up, especially if you're coming from a lot of Dark Souls. Then you can kind of think of it that way, and then you'll be fine. Just look through the weapons when you pick them up, and you can see what build you kind of want to go to. So as you can see, while I was talking, I summoned an old hunter, Gascoigne. Now, on my way to the boss fight, I ended up dying, and summoning an old hunter costs 1 insight, which I don't have, so I wasn't able to take him into this boss fight. Just know that he is available to summon, and you can take him into this boss fight. Anyway, getting into the Cleric Beast. This boss fight might seem a little intimidating at first. It's not that difficult. If you have Molotovs, which if you've explored the area fairly thoroughly, you'll have at least 10. He's weak to fire, so they'll do a little bit of a little chunk of damage. And in Bloodborne, if you hit the same area over and over and over again, you'll eventually break it, in air quotations, and that means that hitting that spot will end up doing more damage overall. So honestly, just keep moving. Like, when it comes to Bloodborne, the dodging is a lot quicker and it flows a lot better than in Dark Souls, because they're wanting you to keep moving around. I don't know if you can stagger him with your gun. I've never tried. If you are wanting to try that, by all means, give it a shot, see how it goes. But I've never tried it. So, as you can see, I am missing so many Molotov shots, so I probably could have killed him a lot earlier than I did. Overall, the boss isn't that difficult, and I'll be killing him here in a second. As you can see, I'm charging up an attack. With Bloodborne, you can charge up these attacks, and when your weapon glows, that means that you'll do like the max amount of damage you can with that one charge attack. So, and you'll see, especially with the axe, I'll do like a little spin attack, so I'll hit him like 2 or 3 times. And with that, the boss is dead. I don't really have much else to say right now. The basic start to this game was a little bit more difficult for me to do, just because this game isn't really a game that I play through a lot. But I thought I'd want to put a video together just for a little basic start in case anyone wanted to start playing this game. But that's all I got for today, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.